Hello, Linda. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, thanks.
Nice. It's a pleasure to have you here. So, we have a few questions for you. Since let's begin with the number one. When did you move to Paraguay? How long?
Okay, so I came to Paraguay in 2021, January 2021, with my husband and two daughters.
Great. Okay, and all right. So it's been 4 years already. And can you tell us a little bit about the good things, the bad things, your perspective about living in Paraguay? What
Yeah,
do you
so
think?
I think it was definitely a culture shock when I first arrived. Um, None of us knew how to speak any Spanish aside from hola and gracias. So the language barrier was really great.
So
And
one question before you continue. Where are you from?
oh, sorry. So I'm from Australia. I grew up in Melbourne on the eastern states,
Great.
and before we moved to Paraguay, we lived in Perth on the western side.
Oh, okay, great.
So yeah, so we came here because my in-laws live here, and we thought we'd come for a 2-year adventure, go live in the middle of South America, and just see how life goes. So
Okay,
um,
great. And we could say that you got, let's say, very like comfortable pretty quickly. Did you feel like the process was like that?
yeah, no, it wasn't actually personally for me. It took a little while. So I think for me, because I've always been so comfortable with language. In Australia, English is my native language. I had a career. Being able to communicate with anybody in Australia professionally and socially and personally was not a problem. And then coming to Paraguay and not knowing how to speak Spanish was a real shock. It really affected I think my confidence. Um, I actually got a little bit depressed at the start because I was feeling really frustrated as an adult.
Mm.
The first time, moving to a different country, not knowing the language, feeling kind of helpless in a lot of ways. But the best thing that we did was actually we hired a Spanish teacher, a private Spanish teacher. And for the first 6 months, we all had lessons. The girls had lessons. There was a lot of tears, a lot of resistance, including me. But we got there in the end. And I think once I picked up enough Spanish to have basic conversations, I think my life improved in a sense because I was able to communicate. I was able to do basic things like go to the supermarket, actually ask somebody and not feel embarrassed.
Exactly.
I was able to go to the bank at the start. I went, with my father-in-law because he speaks
Wow.
fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
But just being able to do things slowly on my own was a big confidence boost for me.
Wow.
And so until I actually learnt the language, it really, I think it really affected my confidence and how I
Yeah.
integrate into the country. But I think, with any country, to really fit in and to really feel like you're part of society, I think you really need to
Exactly.
learn the language and to be able
Yeah.
to
So you
communicate.
can share with the locals and
Yeah.
all that.
So I think
And
for me, language was the biggest hurdle.
yeah,
That was the hardest thing.
I
think.
see. And it took you around 6 months, right?
It probably took me about 9 to 10 months before I started feeling like,
Okay.
okay,
Like you could follow
yeah,
conversations and
yeah.
okay, great.
Because I went from base of zero
Yeah,
Spanish.
no Spanish at
Yeah.
all.
So
All right, great. Okay, perfect, Linda. And can you tell us a little bit about the cost of living here? What's your opinion about that?
yeah, so I guess if you compare this to the Australian dollar, for us, it's quite affordable.
Mhm.
Um, I do a budget most months, and for us, as a family of four,
Yeah.
I think we spend about between 5 to 6 million
Yeah.
a month. And most of that is actually food.
Oh, okay.
So I personally spend more money on high quality foods, organic
Okay.
foods,
Yeah.
different products that I'm used to eating, things like quinoa, couscous,
Okay.
things that are not so popular here.
Yeah.
But
Thus,
but
they
we're
are,
used to eating in Australia, but it costs a lot more. So so that kind of adds up.
yeah.
But for me, it's worth it because we
course.
like these types of foods.
Yeah, you eat organic foods and
Yeah.
actually something nutritious, something that is good.
And so most of our expenses are food, going out. We go out occasionally, but not all the time. And we live in Nueva Colombia. So Nueva Colombia is about an hour drive from Asunción, the capital.
Yeah, from Asunción.
And we pay very little electricity bills. We don't consume much. Our water bill is very low because we have our own well.
I know well. Okay.
We use gas for cooking.
Yeah.
And our house we built and have paid for, so we have no mortgage, no debt.
Okay.
Travel, paying for petrol and things like that. So roughly for us as a family of 4, we spend between 5 to 6 million.
Okay.
So I guess if you compare that to an average monthly expenditure for Paraguayans, that's probably a bit high because the standard, the cost of living and the monthly salary is probably a fraction of that.
Exactly.
But for us,
almost 3.
Yeah. But for us as a foreign family, that's very affordable.
Okay.
In comparison,
In comparison, yeah. So you live in Nueva Colombia, which is 1 hour from Asunción. So how is your experience? Because most foreigners, when they come here, they live in Asunción. Do you feel like far away, or do you have any something uncomfortable, or it's just like living maybe in a capital? Do you feel any difference?
Well, we specifically chose Nueva Colombia. So where we're living in Perth, we actually lived in a national park area. So we were already living away from the city. I'm personally not a city person.
Okay.
I do not like traffic. I don't like cars. I don't like that many crowds. And so for me, living further away from the main city is perfect.
Okay.
So when we first moved here, we stayed with our in-laws for a little bit in Altos San Bernardino area. We were living there for about a year, and then we were looking at around this area to buy some land.
Okay.
And so, we had a couple of friends that were living in Nueva Colombia, and so Nueva Colombia is more like a country town, more rural.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for us. Like, we love it. We bought a block of land. It's 1,600 square meters. We've got chickens. We've got a little garden. We've built a rammed earth house.
Wow.
Like it's
That
our
sounds
little
fun.
it's our little piece of paradise. And we love being in the country area. We don't like a lot of noise.
Yeah,
we don't like
big cities, all that noise and all that.
And we chose Nueva Colombia because it's close enough to Asunción that if we ever need anything, if we have to buy anything, if we have to do a car service, if we ever have to go to the airport or hospital, whatever, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
But it's far enough that we have our peace.
Exactly.
So we actually. We actually like the rural area.
Great. Yeah. So it kind of like fit with your lifestyle already.
Yeah. So in Australia, rammed earth buildings are actually quite popular, but they're super expensive because it's very labor intensive.
Okay.
So for those who don't know about rammed earth walls, they're basically made with a wooden formwork, and the walls are at least 40 centimeters thick. And they're mixed with local dirt and maximum 15% cement, and then it's built in layers of 10 to 15 centimeters and compacted. Okay. So it's very labor intensive, but what it produces is a very beautiful natural form wall that is environmentally friendly and very durable. Wow. So we wanted to experiment with alternative construction.
Yeah.
We wanted a house that was eco-friendly, so we actually hired an architect, and our house design is like a passive solar design. So it basically takes advantage of orientation of the land, of the sun, how we've located the bedrooms and living areas. When we first built the house 2 years ago, we only had fans.
Yeah.
And only just 2 days ago, we decided to install one air conditioner that my in-laws actually organised for us. So it's reverse cycle, so that we install it in the main room so that it gets cold. On some really cold days, we can use heating, and then other days we can use aircon. But aside from that, like we don't have air conditioning, and you know that in some weeks during summer
Yeah.
in Paraguay it is super hot.
It's
But
super hot.
we've got a pool, and we've been able to survive and live comfortably actually.
Wow.
And that's just from using intelligent design.
Intelligent design.
And so
yeah.
this little project for us was quite fun because we wouldn't have been able to do that in Australia without a mortgage.
Yeah.
So we sold our house in Australia, and we were able to build this one, and we're mortgage free. We bought a car as well. My husband also built a lot of the furniture. He did all the cabinetry. So we put a lot of effort and design into this house, and so
a lot of planning.
And
it worked out.
It worked out, and it's a really creative kind of home for us, and it was fun. So.
Good.
What would you tell the Linda from the past, like the Linda that was kind of like hesitating to come to Paraguay or whatever?
Oh, okay.
Anything that you want to tell yourself?
I think that I would tell myself to stop stressing so much.
Okay.
I think it was it was really difficult for me at the start, not knowing the language, and I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because of I was an engineer, and I was a project manager as well, and so not being able to control outcomes, not being able to speak was really difficult for me, and so I stressed a lot.
Okay.
And so now I've adopted the Paraguayan tranquilo now. Okay, that doesn't matter. I've actually learned to let a lot of things go, which is really great because I stress a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so by living here, I've learned to relax a bit more, just go with the flow. Things happen, they happen. If they don't happen today, they might happen in 2 weeks. Maybe they might happen in 2 months.
maybe
not happen at all.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't even happen.
I can't control it, so I'm like, okay, let's just control what we can. And but I definitely would tell myself to stop stressing, because I think the first year or so I did stress a lot. It was a big move for us. It's not just moving from one part of Australia to another part of Australia. Like we're literally moving to the other side of the world. Where we drive on the wrong side. So in Australia, we drive on the opposite side. The steering wheel is also on the other side. So for me as well, learning how to drive in Paraguay, and everything was the total opposite. Everything was upside down.
Everything was challenging.
Everything was challenging, but it was a really good lesson, because I know now that with all these changes, it's made us more resilient.
Okay.
I'm here at the moment with my girls. My husband's still working in Australia, and I manage everything. I do everything here. I'm comfortable. I can speak the language. So if I look back, I should be really proud of myself how far we've come.
Yeah.
In only 4 years, because a lot of people who do come still struggle.
Yeah.
And still don't know the language, but we've tried really hard.
Yeah.
To try to fit in, to try to learn the language, try to have a good quality of life.
Of course.
And having, I guess, we were lucky that we've got our in-laws. My in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
To give us a bit of support, because they helped us with a lot of things as well. So. I guess if we came here on our own and didn't know anybody, that would have been an extra challenge.
Of course, yeah.
But it was a big challenge, mentally, emotionally, physically as well.
In all ways.
In all ways, it was a real challenge.
Psychologically.
Yeah, but we've dealt with it. We're happy, and we've made a life here. We don't know how long we'll live here, whether we'll spend time in both countries or go somewhere else, but so far, we're enjoying life in Paraguay, and
Great. And it's going smooth.
It's going relatively smoothly, yeah. I think on the
Nice.
most part, we're pretty happy. We've made a lot of friends. There aren't that many challenges now. Like if challenges do come up, I know who to talk to. I know how to resolve things.
You have your methods now.
Yeah. Whereas before, like I had no idea.
Yeah.
And even language, how to even communicate it. So.
Perfect. So thank you, Linda. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your words. Thanks for your experience. And well, that's it for today.
Thanks.